Geometers, this is Miss Anderson. Today we're going to jump into lesson 12.6 in our geometry unit. So in our last two lessons, we've learned about a special type of polygon called a quadrilateral. Today, we don't have to learn anything too new. We're more going to apply what we've already learned to help us draw some quadrilaterals. So if you want to follow along in your book, today is a great time to do that because I'm going to be pulling problems straight from our Go Math textbook. One problem they ask you to look at today is some endpoints. And they ask you to connect the endpoints and name the quadrilateral. So I've already done that here. I connected my 4 endpoints so I could see what kind of shape they're giving me. And they did give me a quadrilateral. Next, I asked myself, how many pairs of parallel lines does this shape have? It only has one set of parallel lines. These two lines would eventually intersect if I continued on. So that immediately tells me, without looking at my angles, my side lengths, anything else, that this is a trapezoid. Because trapezoids, unlike rectangles, squares, and rhombus, have only one set of parallel lines. So this shape is pretty distinctive. Another type of question that they might ask you is to draw an example of a polygon that is not a quadrilateral and to explain your thinking. So if we think back to our lesson on polygons, we remember that polygons are named by the number of sides. A quadrilateral is called a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides. But we could draw many types of polygons that have less or more than 4 sides. So we could draw a triangle, we could draw a pentagon, a hexagon, an octagon. There's so many different shapes you could draw here. But no matter what you draw, your explanation is going to be pretty similar. You're going to say that this polygon is not a quadrilateral because it has more or less than 4 sides. All right, so let's jump into what kind of problems you're going to see in your lessons today. So today they're going to ask you to draw quadrilaterals that don't fit into a category. So I've done the first 2 as an example. So it says, draw a quadrilateral that is not a square. So I'm going to stop and think about what makes a square. Well, a square has 4 equal sides. It has 2 pairs of parallel lines, and it has 4 right angles. So if I want to draw something that's not a square, all I have to do is change even one of those descriptors. So because a square has 4 equal sides, I might draw a shape that has less than 4 equal sides. So a rectangle does have equal sides, but it's only equal to the opposite side. So I might draw a rectangle. Or if I want to change how many parallel lines it has, I can take it from 2 parallel lines to 1 set of parallel lines and draw a trapezoid. Next, I have to draw a shape that is not a rectangle. So again, I'm going to pause and I'm going to think, what makes a rectangle? Well, a rectangle has 2 pairs of equal sides. That means the opposite side, the parallel side, is always going to be the same length as the side that you're starting with or talking about. Next, it has 2 pairs of parallel lines like a square, and it has 4 right angles. Now, again, I can change parts of this to help me think of shapes I could come up with. Now, I don't want to change the pairs of equal sides because let's say I wanted to make all 4 sides equal. Well, a square is still a type of rectangle, so that one isn't going to work. But I can change, like last time, how many pairs of parallel sides I have. Let's draw a shape that doesn't have 2 pairs of parallel sides. Let's draw one that has 1 set of parallel lines. Again, we could use a trapezoid as a non-example for a rectangle. Next, we could change how many angles are in the shape or what type of angles we see in the shape. So a rectangle is supposed to have 4 right angles. Now, if I look at this rhombus here, it has 4 equal sides, it has 2 sets of parallel lines, but it doesn't have right angles. It has obtuse and acute angles. So these are both non-examples of a rectangle. Let's try this one together. So go ahead and pause the video, try to do this on your own, and then check back in with me. So let's draw a shape that is not a rhombus. So remember, before I start, I want to think, what makes a rhombus? Now, a rhombus has 2 pairs of parallel lines, and it has 4 equal sides, like a square. A square is a type of rhombus. But the angles don't really matter when we're naming something as a rhombus. They don't need to be right angles. They could be acute or obtuse. So to make something into a rhombus, I need to change either the number of parallel lines, or I need to change the length on the number of sides. A trapezoid answers both of these. And a trapezoid is honestly a really easy go-to shape when you're trying to make something that is different from other quadrilaterals. So if I look at a quadrilateral, it only has one pair of parallel lines. And it has sides that are not necessarily equal. So it has 4 non-equal sides. All right, and be prepared today to know how to explain. So remember that you can use these terms, these descriptions, to help you explain why something is not a rhombus. Why is this not a rhombus? Because it has one pair of parallel sides. Why is this not a rectangle? Because it has acute and obtuse angles. Why is this not a square? Because not all 4 sides are equal. All right, Gators, I hope this helped. Please feel free to go back and watch this video or any past videos if you feel confused, and don't hesitate to reach out to your teachers. Bye, Gators.